What's going on, everyone? In this video, I want to show you why maybe sitting out the first 30 minutes and avoiding the big volatility in the big range is probably going to be a better suit for you to make more money with your prop firms and be a more consistent trader. Now, what I'm looking at here is the 1 hour time frame. Okay. Technically, you can look at the first 30 minutes after New York session opens. For me personally, I like to include that 30 minutes of pre-market data in my candles. I like to run my candle, obviously the 1 hour candle starting at 9 a.m. and closing at 10 a.m. And the reason being for this is you're going to get a lot of volatility that first 30 minutes into the market. Now, today we had a lot of volatility because of CPI. Number came in better than expected. 2.8 on that inflation number, and we got a nice bit of a pop. However, we did not confirm CPI highs and we started to sell off. If you notice, okay, and I'm going to draw, actually, I'll just bring my drawing tool up. If you notice the high of the first hour and you notice the low, this is going to give you a nice range that you can trade not only breakouts and breakdowns, but reversals as well. So if we look at this, I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to actually put some hard lines on here. I'm going to mark out the lows, and that's the only level we're going to really need to focus on because we never got close to confirming the high of day today, which was way up here. Okay, so I'm going to go down into this. Let's go into a 5-minute time frame and let's kind of see what this looks like. You're going to be able to find these breakout setups. Again, I know a lot of people inside of Evolution traders trade the 30-minute opening range. It generally works out very, very good in your favor. Now, here's how I play the 30-minute opening range. I allow that range to get broken, okay? So let's consider the bottom of that first hour candle. Let's consider that 30-minute opening range your pivot point. I need that pivot point to get broken. As soon as that pivot point gets broken, we're going to put in a new low, okay? Once that new low gets put in, I want to jump entry as soon as we confirm that new low, or that new high if the case was to the upside. Okay, if you guys want to try this strategy, I definitely recommend having a little bit of skin in the game, actually working towards something. Go out there, get some Apex evaluations. Right now they're 80% off, I think, for the next day. Just act fast. You can use code DAnthony. With that being said, what you're going to look for here is at least 10 points. I mean, at least. Again, I have myself, and there's a lot of other traders inside of Evolution Traders who have taken this for 3 points. We've taken it for 5 points. Generally speaking, those people who are taking those very quick scalps, 3 points here, 5 points there, you're trading a little bit more aggressive size, multiple mini contracts. If you're going to trade some micros, which I would definitely recommend, that way you don't risk blowing yourself up, 4, 5, 6 micros is a nice sweet spot. I want to look for at least 10, 15 points. Okay. You should be able to get it based on the ATR, based on volatility that early in the morning. So if you notice when we confirm, okay, once we confirm here, you're going to get that confirmation at 7:30 and you're going to break down below the pivot. Okay. Here's the pivot that gets broken. You're going to set that new price point where I call it a second entry. Okay. So get familiar with my terminology. My opening range hour candle low, I'm calling that the pivot. That new low, when I take entry, I call it the second entry because I'm not taking the first entry, I'm taking the second entry. So once we confirm, I guess that's a word that everyone's pretty familiar with. Once we confirm that new low that has broken the pivot, I want to be in here and I want to be looking for 10 to 15 points on at least 5 micro contracts. That way I'm making at least $20 a contract. I'm making at least $100 to $150 a trade. And, depending on how many accounts that you have, if you're copy trading 10 accounts, that's $1,000 day. Okay. Just put that into perspective. You only need about 30 days worth of trading to take out a nice chunk of change. I mean, you could be taking out $10,000 potentially from these prop firms. Of course, if everything went in your way. Now, I'm not saying you're going to win every day. That's definitely not going to happen. Some days you're going to take some losses. What do I like to risk on these potential trades? Because they're scalps, because I'm looking for it to break and utilize momentum, I want to win or I want to get stopped out right away. So I'm going to probably use something somewhat, depending on the ATR, of around a 15-point stop loss. The most I would probably feel comfortable using is a 20-point stop loss. Now, Here's where things get a little murky. Is, let's say, for example, you do take this trade. Let's say you take 10 points off this, you make about $100 on it, and then you go and you start looking for a dozen other trades, utilizing every strategy under the book. You give back some profits, you go into red, now you're battling. I'm a big firm believer that if you can knock out 1 or 2 winning trades, you gotta hang it up. I'm gonna keep preaching that until I'm blue in the face, because I see so many traders that suffer, and I suffered and I still suffer from it, from overtrading. And it's typically overtrading gets us into trouble. It gets us into emotional despair that we don't like to necessarily be in. And it just prolongs the process of when we're going to get paid out and when we're going to pass those prop firm evaluations. So here's my recommendation. Sit out the first 30 minutes of the market, guys. You're not missing anything, right? You're probably losing bigger trades in the first 30 minutes than you're making money on a consistent basis. Utilize those 1-hour candles. Utilize that 30-minute opening range break. Always take second entries, okay? Don't try to jump ship early. Always take a second entry. Look to take 1 or 2 trades a day, lock it up. Let me know how that goes over the next 30 days. Utilize Apex's 80% off deal by using code DAnthony for 80% off. If you guys want access to my course, the community, and everything else that I offer, that link is down in the description box below. You can definitely become a gold member, a lifetime member to my community, and get access to all of my updates. That link's down in the description box below. Make sure to give me a thumbs up on your way out of here, guys, and I'll see all of you guys on the next one.